huge. Real music and real connection with the music is spirituality. For me, at least. Music is my spirituality. I connect with something when I'm creating music or listening to music. I become in tune with something, and it's so strong. It's so powerful. The feeling is real. It's too strong to ignore. It's truly beautiful, a truly amazing thing. I don't know. I think the whole sub thing's a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. I was at a party, and this girl we were talking, and we were in like a circle, and she's like, "Yeah, so I'm a sub looking for a master." And I was just like, "What? Substitute teacher? What are you subbing? What is going on here?" So then there's this other guy there, and I'll never forget this. He looked all, went back, he's like, he's packing some cigarettes, he goes, "What's your level of commitment and how serious are you?" "I'm a professional master." And I'm like, oh my God, he's a professional master. What is this? What's going on? I want to be a professional master. Well, I was, pretty confused about the whole thing, but it became pretty clear to me what it all was. And she's like, "Yeah, here's my collar and chain." So it was all pretty clear about what it was, and I decided to be a dick. And when everything was quiet, and after the master and sub had their little talk, and you could tell some of the people there were kind of like, "What the hell? This is so weird." And I just went, "So, what's a sub?" And my buddy and me started just cracking up. She got pretty embarrassed. All the power to him. Do it. Whatever you're into, whatever gets your rocks off, go for it. I've actually found myself branching out into the pornography world, because you know what? Like, it's just just two people having sex just ain't really doing it for me anymore on the porno front. I like to see somebody tied up. It's like, ooh, whoa. Someone's tied up. Oh, okay, I like this. Let's see more. Let's view more. Whatever. Explore. See what you like. You don't know. You don't know until you've tried it. I might be gay. I've never sucked a cock before, but how do you know? How do you know you don't like it if you've never tried it? I don't put a lot of stock in the Bible. That book has been edited hundreds and thousands of times, so I don't put a lot of stock in the Bible. Whether it's real or not is irrelevant, because how it betters me, it makes me be a better person. My first crush? What? My first crush, jeez. Like kindergarten? I remember her, I remember one point we had Easter, it was Easter, so we had those little baskets. And when everybody placed theirs in PE class, we would sit them down, we set ours together. So they were kissing. Started masturbating at 11 years old, I'll never forget that first one. So I finally did it. We had sex, and I woke up in the morning, and my Techniques turntables were right on the doorstep. They had just gotten there. I was like, this is the best day ever.
We'll get there. We will absolutely get there. No, we're going to get there. I'm going in order. So you identify as a singer, actor, and musician. Just to be clear, I know obviously you're DJ and producer, but do you play anything else?
Guitar.
Okay.
Guitar. I can perform guitar.
Okay. Cool. That was one I didn't know about, so cool. Alright, so the Comfortable with Nudity, just to explain why that's on there. The show's really inspired by a lot of shows from the 70s, like Hair and Godspell. So we are looking at doing a full cast nude scene, where everyone in the cast just robes. It is not a deal breaker for being in the show if people are not willing to do it. It's just something that we're looking at doing.
Okay.
What Bryson wrote here is maybe no penis.
Wait a minute.
I know he's been wanting me to share this with the kids.
It's the proper term for it. I wasn't going to put anything vulgar, So just to clarify, things
The shooting scenes will be staged, that kind of thing, so you would be comfortable with rear nudity.
I'd be comfortable with real
Okay. And you'd be comfortable with being in like underwear or something like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, honestly, like I think once I get comfortable with all the cast and stuff, I mean, I might be open to it, but
Okay.
yeah, it's just
Maybe I get it on here, and I mean it's something that we would spend a lot of time with the cast talking about and
Right.
rehearsing, and there are ways of doing it so that everyone is comfortable. It's but you know, obviously you would be really with the cast would be less the issue than doing it in front of 70 people every
Right.
night for 4 nights. So you
Yeah.
just have to think about it. But
because for me, because all I think about when I think about it is it's like there's no one else on stage. Everyone on the stage, everyone's just going. Yeah, you know, people on stage, people in the crowd. I
So-
can maybe sit like this somehow.
I mean, it's something that we could work with. That's not a that's.
We
it's
can
certainly
give you a
not
loincloth.
barrier. It's just something we wanted to ask everybody. So, did you prepare something?
No, but I have.
You have the size. That's.
But I got a little thing with it. You know, I got.
Okay, fantastic. Well, if you want to move that out of your way or use the space however you want to use it, that's fine. And just whenever you're ready.
Hang on, I need to. You're out of range. There we go.
Okay, awesome. Can you see like down here? Okay.
Your cutoff point's a little bit below the edge, below your shirt.
I'm gonna bring the chair back then because it will make more sense that way.
Okay.
Okay. Good?
Yeah. Well. There you
I'm
go.
gonna come in. I'm
Yeah.
gonna come in.
Okay.
Okay, so this is good?
Yes, that's great.
Okay. I will try not to move around a lot. Okay. Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. For the winter is past, and the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of the singing birds has come, and the voice of the turtle is heard throughout the land. The fig tree putteth forth her green figs, and the vines with their tender grapes give a good smell. Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away, O my dove, that are in the clefts of the rock, in the secret places of the stairs. Let me see thy countenance. Let me hear thy voice. For sweet is that voice, and thy countenance is comely. Take us the foxes, the little foxes that spoil the vines, for our vines have tender grapes.
Great. So go ahead and have a seat and pull the chair up a little bit over to where the spot on the floor is.
The
tape on the
piece
floor.
of tape.
back.
Big square tape, yeah. Let me know when you
All
go.
right.
It's
Yeah.
been a while
Let
since I've had to deal with
me
blocking.
frame you up here.
Thank you.
Okay, we are framed.
All right. So go ahead and state your name.
My name is Bryson Footage.
Okay. Bryson, tell me a little bit about your religious or spiritual upbringing.
My religious upbringing was Catholic school. When we weren't a Catholic house, so going to church and not being able to participate in the Eucharist. Like Jesus died for us, but you can't drink his blood and you can't have his body. I was the only kid in the school that wasn't allowed to. So that definitely turned me off to organized religion completely. But I am insanely spiritual. Like I believe in God. Whatever someone calls him, Allah or a creator. Something must have happened a long time ago, and this person said it that way, that person said it that way, that person said it that way. But I feel it, and even whether it's wrong or right, what it does for me personally is enough to pursue it and just stick with it.
So what was your family's belief that they weren't Catholic but put you in a Catholic school?
It was just the only private school to go to in the area, so they wanted to send me to go to private school. They're Christians, they're Christians. My dad was actually born in Jerusalem, so he's Christian as well. But that's why they sent me like the Catholic school. But it wasn't a hardcore religious family at all. They were just pretty believe what you want, you know. Nothing was ever shoved down our throat at home when it came to religion.
So tell me your feelings about the difference between religion and spirituality, because you use both of those words.
I feel like religion is what like society has labeled spirituality because it's something that they don't understand. So they want to be able to label it and say, oh, okay, I can't understand it this way, you know. So it's become skewed that they are two separate things when really, I guess for me, they're one and the same. But I feel like society now they're different, you know. But religion is evil, I think. You know, if you look at, you know, history, I'm not trying to go to a history lesson, but I mean, it goes back pretty far. It's not they don't have a good history. Organized religion just doesn't have a good track record, you know, so I guess not for me, you know, so bad.
So tell me about your feelings about the Bible, specifically like some of the rules and structures that are in it, and how that affects, you know, how we should behave or how you personally behave here in the 21st century.
Personally, I think unless you have some kind of medical condition where, like, you know, serial killers have a part of their brain there's a gland that's smaller. That's like that's how they can have no remorse for what they're doing when they kill somebody. It's actually physical in their brain. This is why they can do that and be sick and twisted like that. But for your average person, for, you know, the 99% of us, deep down in your heart, you know what's right and what's wrong. And I've always felt, you know, like growing up when I was younger, you know, things in the Bible like premarital sex, you know, when I was 16 and I was in, you know, I loved my girlfriend, when we had sex, I didn't feel wrong. I didn't feel like I had done anything wrong. So, you know, I didn't, there's that. And then there's the gay thing in the Bible. I think that's stupid. I just can't believe that. I can't believe that people who are gay are going to hell. That's one of the deal breakers in the Bible for me, it's just, I don't know. I mean, there's people that wake up every day, you know, that are 14 and 13 and they cry themselves to sleep every night because they don't want to be gay, you know, and that's real. That's real. And that kid going to hell, just no way, man. That's the other thing in organized religion is the hell aspect. Like Christianity, that's the only religion that wants you to go all in right in the beginning. Accept Jesus or you're done, or you're going to hell for eternity, you know? But, yeah, I guess that's that.
So, do you personally believe in hell?
Not the classic defined version of it, no. I think that people who are evil, like in Judaism, Judaism, Jewish people, they don't believe in like hell. Their belief is that when you die, depending on your spiritual development and your growth as a person, like whether you're a good person, whether, you know, you had a good soul, those, you know, the people who were very spiritual and believed in the God and believed in the Creator, those people have a good transition after death. After death, they basically, it's just like, oh, okay, I'm dead. This is heaven. Okay, I'm one with the earth now, basically. I'm in whatever. And if you're evil, if you were an evil person and you weren't spiritual and you committed lots of evil, then the transition after death is very scary. And it is like a hell. It's basically a nightmare. You can't put time on it. It's like in your dream, you know. But that was very interesting because I hadn't really studied Judaism. You know, I was only exposed to Christianity. So when they told me that belief, I really, really liked it. I thought that was a good concept. But no, I don't believe that there's some guy down in some fiery cave somewhere and we're all going to have to, you know, like in South Park. No.
So you mentioned earlier not feeling any guilt when you were talking about your girlfriend and you didn't feel that it was wrong. Growing up in a Catholic school, I'm sure you were given all sorts of rules all the time. Has any of that ever made you feel guilty about anything when it comes to sex?
I think there's me personally, I guess, no. There's nothing I've done that what I think is wrong, you know. Maybe like the like one timer, you know, like that really promiscuous behavior, like in the bathroom of like a rave, like with some random girl. Like, yeah, I felt wrong and dirty. So yeah, I gotta go back. Yeah. See, that's what's wrong. That's actually where I don't really like to. Sex is weird for me. It really is. Like, I went through a really long spell without it for maybe 5 or 6 years, and then going back to it, and you know, like within the last 2 years, it's just I don't know. I'm just not. If I'm not really into this girl, it's just I'm not even into it. I don't want to. I mean, I have to like focus. I have to focus and to enjoy it. Like really try to, and it's just not worth. No, I'm not. Random sex is just it sucks, you know. And I think there's a line of sexually deviant behavior, you know. But this doesn't make someone a bad person, you know.
So it seems like you've managed to come to you talk about how you feel and, you know, serial killers not being able to have that sort of moral compass, but it seems like you have a very strong, like, engagement with your own moral compass. And how hard was it to develop that when you did have the upbringing of, you know, Catholic school, which probably went against a lot of the things, told you that a lot of the things you thought were okay were wrong?
Yeah, I mean, dude, my Catholic school told me I was going to burn in hell in religion class. You know, when I was in 2nd grade, and I was like, because they're like, if you're not a Catholic, then you're going to burn in hell. So you're going to hell. So I was like, what about me? Am I going to hell? And they're like, well, if you don't accept Jesus and the Catholic Church, then that might happen, you know. So it was pretty awkward, but I was never into that stuff. Like I wasn't religious as a kid. I've never been really religious. Like the Catholic school turned me off to like religion, pretty much, you know. Never been a hardcore into like strict regime rules, you know. It's what I feel. It's always about what I feel. When I feel, you know, when I feel, it's all about what I feel.
I think that's actually a great place to cut it off. So, awesome. Well, let you know what we're going to do. We're going to So the Atlanta Fringe Festival is an annual festival of unusual or off-center works that are curated by the festival. Everyone enters, and a certain number of shows are chosen every year. I'm very interested in working on things that I don't entirely understand. And when I read Song of Solomon, I found it just heartbreakingly beautiful. It's so inspiring, and the language is so amazing. It's like the sonnets of Shakespeare, but I didn't understand what it was doing in the Bible. It's so physical and sexual, and I really didn't know what about that would, you know, make it part of one of the canon works of, you know, Christian literature. I mean, it's the most important book in the world according to some people, and there's 8 chapters about erotic love and sex. So that intrigued me, and I wanted to find out why. So what we've done is we've broken the original text up into 17 scenes, and then brought in outside music, everything ranging from pop music that you might hear on the radio to hymns written in the 1700s. We've also interviewed every member of the cast, and we've transcribed those interviews and are using the text in the piece along with video installations. So the reason that we're asking for help from Indiegogo is because we really want the show to have a life outside of the Fringe Festival. There are 4 performances in the Fringe Festival, but this is such a wonderful show and such an amazing cast that I'd really like to be able to spend a little bit more time working on it and to develop it into something that's a little bit longer and more elaborate and possibly take it on the road. And for the Fringe Festival, you know, there are several things that we need. We need video, we need flat screen televisions for our projection. We need a few, you know, costume pieces. There are several things that, you know, we'll have a show regardless, but the best show that can possibly be really won't happen unless we can have support from people like Indiegogo and other sources that really want to, you know, take care of the arts.